So if you want to see how I did this look on my face, I did an in-depth tutorial on another video about how to do your face for beginners. So I'll have that linked below because I'll definitely have that video up before this one. But this video is just going to be all about how to do your eye makeup if you're just starting to do makeup. So I go in depth about what different sections are of your eyes, what are the best eyeshadow palettes and shades and types to get if you're just starting out, and what kind of brushes to use, and how to apply eye makeup. So if you want to see how I did that, then just keep watching. I think the most important thing to start with when you are collecting eyeshadows for your new makeup collection, or one or two eyeshadows, is start with mattes. This is because when you put a matte in the crease, which I'll explain the different dimensions of your eye, this adds dimension and makes your eyes look wider or smaller, however you like. But adding a sparkly or a shimmery color to the crease, which you can do, but when you're first starting out, I think you should avoid doing that because it can look a little odd. First, talk about a few eyeshadow palettes that I recommend if you're just starting a makeup collection. So this is probably the makeup palette that I recommend the most, and I know it's dirty, but this is my Morphe 350. And I know it's highly coveted and it goes in and out of stock all the time, but I really recommend getting it and waiting it out because it's such an incredible palette and it has such gorgeous colors, and it's like $22, and then there's so many discount codes that you can get for 10% off. So yeah, this is an amazing palette and has lots of different transition colors and colors to add dimension and depth, which I'll get into. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you a few different parts of the eyes so you know what I'm talking about when I'm doing my eyes. I have hooded eyes, so that means you can see this crease right here when my eyes are open. This area right here is the crease. So this is the area of your eye that you're going to be adding some dimension to and adding transition shades, adding those matte colors. This right here is the lid. So this is where I'll be adding anything, sparkles, mattes, shimmers, nothing, whatever you want. Then you have the outer third, which is this area. Then you have the inner third, which is this area. So if I want to add dimension, more dimension, sometimes I'll add a darker color to the inner and the outer third. And then you have just this little part right underneath the eyebrow, which I use to highlight. So I can use, sometimes I'll put some of this highlighter up there, or I'll take like a whiter shade and put it up there. Then you have the inner corner, which you can do lots of different things with. You can take a highlighting color, put it in there, or you can take whatever you want. That really depends on the look that you're doing. So just like with your face, putting a primer on your eyes is really important. It's good for staying power, making sure the eyeshadow stays on all day. It's good to make sure they look really vibrant. And for some people, it's good to get rid of the eye veins on your eyelids. So there are a few different ways to prime your eyes. Like I said when I was doing my face, you can use foundation to prime your eyes. While you're putting on foundation, you can just plop that on your eyes and set it with some translucent powder and you're done. Or you can use some concealer, which is what I'm going to use today. This is just, again, the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. Or you can use an eyeshadow primer, which is what it's marketed as. It's marketed to prime your eyeshadow. Okay, so this is one of the most important parts about doing your eyes. If you're gonna prime them, you need to set the primer. Just like putting foundation on and then setting the foundation, putting powder directly onto the cream or the liquid that's on your eye is going to make the powder look patchy. You can also set it using a few different brushes. I usually just take a fluffy brush. This one is the Sephora Pro Crease. And I'm just going to take Light Cocoa from the Cocoa Contour Palette by Too Faced and just sweep that all over my eyes. Okay, so now we're going to start on adding color to your eyes. There are so many different ways that you can do your eyeshadow and do an eye look. But today, for this basic beginner's eye, I just want to do a basic neutral brown eyeshadow look. So most often, you're going to start with a color in your crease, and that color is called the transition shade. But basically, this eyeshadow application is to ensure that all of your colors blend together really nicely. So everyone's eyelids are different, but I'm going to take this color in the crease right here. So it's the part that when you're looking forward, you want to see a little bit of it but it's going to be right here. So for the transition shade, you're going to want to use a fluffy brush. There are so many different fluffy brushes out there. These are a few of the ones that I have. This one is a Wet n Wild fluffy brush. This one is BH Cosmetics, the 101 brush, and this one's my favorite. This one's the Morphe M441. If you're starting out with trying to find some good brushes for your eyes, this is an incredible brush. I love it so much. It's so good for fluffing things into your crease. You can use it in so many different ways, and it's just a really high quality brush. For my transition color, I'm going to take this color right here. This is just a light neutral brown, and that's just the kind of color that you want for your transition. So I want to make sure my eyelids are as flat as they can be, because if they're creased, the eyeshadow might catch on the eye and leave ripples. So I'm just going to start from the outer corner and start just fallout is something that's going to happen. It's inevitable. But you're going to start from the outer corner and just start taking this color into the crease and going back and forth. Now sometimes you want to add two transition shades. I'm just going to take a color that's slightly darker than the original transition shade, this one right here. Just because what I'm doing with my eyes is building dimension. And again, just go into the crease, kind of taking it a little bit into the inner corner, because my eye, the way it's shaped, it just gets a little patchy there. And just drag my brush in circular motions in the crease, going back and forth. So to add more dimension to your eye, you're going to take a brush that's still fluffy, but it's small enough to fit into the outer third of your eye. I have two brushes that I really like for this. One of them is the MAC 217. This is a holy grail brush. I think it's amazing for adding dimension to your eye. And then there's the Morphe M433, which is kind of a dupe for the MAC 217. And we are going to use this color for the third transition shade. So comparing to these two, this one is just a little deeper, and again, we'll just add that perfect dimension that you want to your eyes. Just take this color, kind of sweeping it on the lash line right here, and then up in a V, and kind of just claiming this entire corner area. Then I'm going to slowly start dragging it up to the crease, so this color doesn't stand alone in the outer V and look a little bizarre. I am going to clean it up a little bit because I did get a lot on the lid. So I'm going to take a white color, Tempera, from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and then just take it on my eye a little bit. But I'm going to take a fluffy brush and blend it all together. If you feel like maybe your eyeshadow is too close to your brow bone, you can just take the same white color and the same brush and just take it underneath the brow bone to separate the colors a little bit. Okay, now so for underneath the eyes. This again is just depending on what kind of makeup look you're doing and your personal preference. And it's basically just doing everything in the same order that you did it on your crease and on your upper eye. So I'm just taking the same transition shade I took here, and I'm going to put it on the bottom with a pencil brush. I'm not going to be doing eyeliner today because whenever I do eyeliner, I do winged eyeliner, and I think that's a whole other video and takes a lot of detail. So what you do when you're curling your eyelashes is you just open your eyes, make sure all your lashes are in there, and then just squeeze together a few different times to make sure they hold the curl. If you want the curl to hold longer, you can warm up the eyelash curler in between your hands. I'm going to use the Stila Huge Lash Mascara today and just put that on my eyes. Mascara, there are so many different ways to do it. I like to hold my eyes open and then kind of blink on the mascara. The inner corner of the eye is also, everything is personal preference, but I like to highlight the inner corner. I think it's really fun and I think it can really be beautiful. I'm gonna use, this is my favorite brush for highlighting the inner corner. It is the Morphe E36 and it just fits perfectly in there. You can highlight with a matte white color or you can highlight with a shimmery color. I like to highlight with the shimmery color most of the time because I feel like it's more noticeable. I'm gonna take the color Vermeer from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. There isn't much technique to this, but what I'm doing is just pushing the brush right on the inner corner and a little bit. It's like this is the inner corner right here, and this is where the brush can be, but then you're touching your eye. Then if you move it over a little bit, it's right there. Now I'm gonna go in and just try to get rid of any spots where I got mascara. Taking my fingernail, which isn't the best. Alright guys, there you have it. There's how to do some basic eye makeup. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you want to see how I got this face, I'll definitely have it linked below. And if you have any more questions, please let me know. I want to answer all of them or do another tutorial on a different kind of eye makeup look. Whatever you want. So if you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe and like the video and leave a comment. Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.